By completing 7 different achievements in Zerith Mortis, you can pick up this kind of glow-in-the-dark jellyfish. So it's pretty easy, especially if you're grinding out some rep, etc, etc. Eventually you're going to get all these 7 achievements and pick up this map. 11 different achievements from the raid, and basically 11 different achievements make up the one achievement, Glory of the Sepulcher Raider. It's an achievement. Once you get all those 11, you're going to get this mount, batteries not included. A random drop, and we know it's a low random drop, but it's got to be Mythic Plus in order to get this particular mount from the Jailer. So you got a shot to get it. Low drop rate. Every Mythic kill on the Jailer has a shot to drop this mount. We move from a low percentage drop to an automatic drop, but you got to take out the Jailer on Heroic or Mythic, and this is 100% guaranteed drop for the takeout of the Jailer on Heroic or Mythic. For Keystone Master Season 3, we have a recolor from Season 1 and the launch, but this is, I think, the best of the 3. Waste Warped Deathwalker. Makes me want to do Mythic Plus. That says a lot from a hardcore PvPer here. For the Cosmic Season 3 in PvP, Cosmic Gladiator Soul Eater. I think this is a pretty cool looking mount. Gladiator ranking, it's an achievement. It's, well, rated PvP. Gotta hit Gladiator, and automatically you get this mount. Kiss This Frog, a guarantee it will not turn into a prince. Here's the PvP mount for Season 3 that you get through the token. Basically X amount of wins of rated PvP at a certain level, and boom, you get the frog. That's the way it works. Pretty cool, kinda. The Horde version of the previous mount, X amount of wins above 1400. Grind it out, get the token, get the frog. I do believe if you get the Horde mount here, you automatically get the Alliance mount. That's the way it's always been. I assume that's the way it is once again. The Jailer's Gauntlet is very similar to the Twisting Corridors, supposedly harder. If you complete layer 4, you get this mount, so gives you a little bit of incentive to do it. I think it's a really, really sharp looking Morat kind of theme mount from Torghast. This beautiful Morat, oversized Morat that you could ride, Torghast, layer 13 or higher, so 14, 15, 16, 13, random drop, low percentage, any mob. There you go, Torghast, random drop. Now we shift over to regular Torghast, layer 16, flawless run on 6 different Torghasts. Get a flawless run, each of the 6, you get an achievement, flawless master. Layer 16, get the mount. There is an elite in Zerith Mortis called Gorger of Ruin, and he drops this mount. It's called Isca's Morat Leash. Another Morat themed type of mount. You're going to see a lot of these around Zerith Mortis. Load percentage drop rate, obviously, Zerith Mortis, of course. Numerous supply chests situated all throughout Zerith Mortis. Mosswan's supply chest is what they're called. Spectral Morat's tail has a shot to drop. Obviously a low percentage shot in Zerith Mortis from those chests. I promise you no more jellyfish mounts after this one. Zerith Mortis, this is a rare drop. Hirokon is probably Japanese, not 100% sure, but anyway, rare, elite in Zerith Mortis, low percentage drop rate for this mount. Reach Revered with the Enlightened, and you can buy this mount for 5,000 anima, which is actually kind of cheap given nowadays how much anima you could store up and save because you don't necessarily have to spend it. But I think this looks better than the one you get for Exalted, which is what we're going to see next. Heartlight Stone is the mount that you can purchase for 5,000 anima from the Enlightened Quartermaster once you hit Exalted with the Enlightened. Yes, it is kind of a stony looking, as in granite looking kind of elephant thing. On WowHead, this is listed as kind of a puzzle type of mount. Do a puzzle, get a mount, but it's a little bit more detailed than that. Yes, you got to work on some puzzles, but you also have to do a quest chain. acquire a lot of things, 15 of these, 10 of those, etc., etc., do the whole chain, get the frog. If you ever took a high school biology class, you probably heard the term photosynthesis. Instead of producing food for plants through sunlight and water, in patch 9.2, you can produce mounts through Protoform Synthesis with Enlightened reputation, which would have to be revered, and, well, it doesn't have to be, but it's optimal to be revered to start this process, and various reagents to craft mounts, 24 mounts in total. Let's go over the reagents. Protoform Synthesis is very similar to the mount crafting system we first saw in patch 8.2, The Rise of Ashara, which is the patch that introduced 2 new zones, Nazjatar and Mechagon Island. On Mechagon Island, well, first of all, I'd like you to leave it in the comments which of those 2 zones you enjoyed or liked the most, whether it was Nazjatar or Mechagon Island. Love to see your thoughts in the comments on that. On Mechagon Island, there was a cruder elementary version of Protoform Synthesis where you could create mounts. I think it was a small amount, maybe somewhere between 4, 6, or 8 mounts. Protoform Synthesis in Zerith Mortis offers a significant number of more mounts. You're looking at 24 in total. And I think the mounts overall, I really do think they're a lot more stylish and cooler. Matter of fact, I know. I do. Like, look at the Death Runner here. I mean, that's a pretty darn cool mount. So overall, cooler, more stylish, and obviously greater quantity of mounts that you could go after in Zerith Mortis than you could on Mechagon Island. Now, here's the way the new and improved mount crafting system works in Zerith Mortis. To maximize your effort in crafting all of these mounts, you're going to need to be revered with the Enlightened, which is something you're going to come very close to reaching, if not outright reach it, by doing the campaign, doing dailies, etc., etc. The more dailies you do, the more rares you take out, obviously the more rep you're going to get over time. Now, there are 24 different mounts in total. Each mount requires 3 different reagents. The reagent you're going to need in bulk, we're talking a couple of hundred per mount, some are 200, some are 400. That particular reagent is called Genesis Mode, which is a key ingredient for each and every mount. Genesis Mode drops from elites, rares, even mobs, and the drop rates aren't so bad, actually. I've seen anywhere from 12 to 18%. Check WowHead for specifics. Matter of fact, I'll link the description. In the description, I'll throw a link to Genesis Mode, so you can have that link to WowHead and you can surf, get other information as you need it. The second reagent is a fill-in-the-blank lattice. I toss out the fill-in-the-blank before lattice because the kind of lattice you're going to need is 100% contingent on the family of mount you want to create. So, for example, with the Heartbound Lupine, you're going to need Lupine lattice, etc., etc. So, another example would be if you want to craft something from the Servid family, you're going to need Servid lattice. And primarily, the fill-in-the-blank lattice drops from the kind of mount, the family of mount that you're trying to get. So if you want to kill spiders, you'll get the lattice for the spiders, etc., etc. That's the way it works. If you want to get a Raptora, you're going to have to kill Raptoras in order to get the Raptora lattice. That's the way it works. Now, the third reagent is acquired primarily through rares and elites in Zerith Mortis. There are various reagents which include Morforged Bridle. That's a cool mount. The Pale Regal Servid, I like that mount. And just to hammer that point home, Servid lattice in order to get our Servid. Yeah, Servid. That is Servid. I can't even read my own typing. Anyway, so here's a list. I'm not going to rattle them all off. Just a few things. A few of these reagents. This third reagent, Morforged Bridle, Crystallized Echo of the First Song, Unalloyed Bronzed Inglet, Protoform Sentience Crown, Tools of Incomprehensible, experimentation, and there's a lot more. I don't want to bore you with all the details, but each one of these third reagents might produce 2 or 3 mounts, so there's a lot of flexibility there. You gotta have to kind of forge out and plan out what you want to do ahead of time, and you could always find specific information for each mount on WowHead. Now the good news, here's the good news. All reagents, every single reagent, without exception, is a compound, which means if you want to farm reagents on an alt while doing the campaign, or even if you're looking for the 226 or 233 gear to start up your alt, you can readily and easily do so, because you can get these reagents on your alt, transfer it to your main, and craft it there. So you get a lot of flexibility, you get a lot of leverage. And the good thing about having all 24 of these mounts to craft is that it's a good chunk of mountage that you could get in order to get that 200 mount achievement, or that 250 or 300 or 400 or 500 mount achievement, where you get that one really cool mount. Usually it's a pretty cool mount. So it's a good way to farm that. So there's a lot of flexibility here. To hammer that point, Helicid. So if you want to get a Helicid, which essentially is a snail, you would need lattice Helicid in order to craft those. And the thing is, with those last 2 reagents, the blank lattice and the long list of other ones, those reagents essentially only need one of each. One of those. The real one you're going to need in bulk, as I said before, is the Genesis mode, and that's something that you're really going to have to farm quite a bit of. But there's a lot of flexibility here, and that's the good news with all this. Terracnid creeper. So if you want to get a spider mount, it would be Terracnid lattice that you're going to have to pick up. It's a cool system. I think it's a prelude to a system that we're going to see in the next X pack. Those are just my thoughts, and I also think we're also going to see a Tinker. Yeah, that'd be the right word. My name is Luxley. I want to thank everybody for stopping by, and I'm going to leave you with this one and final thought. Whatever it is by you, whether it's morning, afternoon, or night, make your day epic.